Rather shocking news over the weekend, and the death of anybody is shocking. But Flip Saunders of the Minnesota Timberwolves was diagnosed with lymphoma, cancer, and we kind of thought it was like George Karl, that he could go through the process and come back.
He would need
then
some
they
time
announced that he was going to take a leave of absence and it would probably extend for the full year. General manager and coach of the team. Then it was announced that he died.
Yeah, a few days later he died.
And so the shocking part of it, you know, the death is shocking, but that it happened so quickly. All of this happened so quickly. Here's my first thought about Flip Saunders. What I really liked about him, and this is not going to be talking about his legacy, and I think the coaches would agree with this, and I'll tell you why. Flip was the guy who was the first guy to say hello. Have you been around people in your lives and you're the one that have to be, you and I have dealt with hundreds of coaches, and you go up and say, "Coach, can I bother you?" "Hey, how you doing, George? How you doing, Fred?" Whatever it might be. I would walk, Flip Saunders loved living on the court. He was not a guy that was back in the locker room. He liked being out on the basketball court. And I'd walk by when I specifically remember when he was with the Washington Wizards. And that was a great experience for him with the team. And he'd go, "Hey, Woody, how you doing?" He was the guy who would say it. Greg Popovich is like that. Flip reminded me of Popovich of, they were outgoing guys.
They say hello to you first.
And you go, really? Is that? I think that's great in life. How many people do you deal with where if you get on an elevator, for instance,
I'm doing just fine.
I'm usually the one that say, "Hey, hello, how are you doing?"
Yeah, everybody else
that
avoids
doesn't make me a nice guy,
or
but you know. But that's what hit me when I heard he died. He always said hello first, and I think that shows something about a person. Let me tell you a couple other things. Coaches, when I said that, the coaches are going to wear emblems this year to symbolize him, FS. And here's a guy that had over 1,000 victories, and go, really? He had that many in the NBA? No, he didn't. He started at a place called Golden Valley Lutheran College. He really worked himself up. Continental League, Sioux Falls, lacrosse. I'm not talking about the sport, I'm talking about the city. Lacrosse, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Rapid City. Was with the Timberwolves in '95. Went to the Wizards. Was with Detroit. He went back to the Timberwolves. He's been a fixture with the Timberwolves. He developed those good Kevin Garnett teams. Never won an NBA championships. But here's a guy, sort of like Phil Jackson, that paid his dues. And that's what I really appreciate. I thought Flip was a class guy. He had exactly 650 victories in the NBA, but if you take his career, he's a 1,000 victory guy. Yeah. And I thought he was a class act.
A lot of friends around the NBA and influenced a lot of people.